Hey folks, and welcome back to Pokémon Y. In this part we're going to be heading towards the fabulously named Glittering Cave, which is a cave that glitters, and that's pretty much all it is. Look, I'm terrible at intros.
Yeah. Although this does introduce you to some specific Pokémon that you can ride in this game.
Yes, which is kind of a precursor to the Gen 7 approach, although these ones are in fixed locations. And this chick is talking about a rocky helmet, which I don't give a shit about. But what's that? Is that the one that kind of causes recoil damage when it's attacked?
Yeah, when the opponent attacks you, they end up being inflicted by damage.
That's a pretty useful thing, but I've never used it, honestly.
But yes, here's you riding a Rhyhorn, finally.
Yeah. And for some reason you get wild encounters on what looks like just a wall of stones, but here is Sandar, which I like Sandar.
Yeah.
I think I prefer the sunglasses Krokorok.
Yes.
Because that is a fucking bro.
Well, Crocodile.
Crocodile, yeah. Well, I think which one's the final?
Crocodile's the final form.
Yeah, I think he finds it as a Krokorok in the anime, doesn't he?
He finds it as a Sandile.
Oh, yeah, that was right early on, wasn't it? I think he doesn't catch it until it's evolved once.
I'm not sure.
I don't know, it's been a while since I actually watched Black and White for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
With those obvious reasons being that it's a fucking terrible
I think in Black and White and Black and White 2, I had a Crocodile on my team.
They do seem very useful. I was watching some Chugga's Pokemon White run, and he's using one on his team, and it seems like a really fucking useful Pokemon to kind of fill the ground type slot.
Plus, because it's a even though it's a dark type, it can learn Aerial Ace to prevent fighting types taking it down.
Oh, that's cool.
But, thing is though, how the hell does it learn Aerial Ace?
Well, you see, it flies up and...
So if I recall correctly, when it uses it in the anime, Crocodile, it does jump up in the air and sort of just clothesline the opponent.
That's fucking incredible. Yeah, I'm trying to think, in terms of ground types, I like to have a ground type on hand a lot of the time when I'm playing, because they tend to be really sturdy, don't they?
What are yours favourites?
Oh, it's tricky. I hate being asked what types are my favourites because it takes me forever.
Well, I'm going to keep asking you then. So, I'll say for me, my favourites, my go-to ones are the Nidos. Nido King and Nido Queen. I fucking love them Pokemon.
Great choices.
Basically every time I play fucking, Gen 1, one of the Kanto games, I'll have one of them. I think I prefer Nido King's design a little bit, just because, he's got the more intimidating look, but Nido Queen is really fucking useful as well. It only comes down to which one I encounter first, is the one I use, honestly, but yeah, that's quite a powerful Pokemon that you can get quite early on as well, isn't it? Because, it evolves with the Moonstone, so... Yeah,
it's got fairly well spread out stats. It's not particularly amazing in a particular one. It's just kind of good overall.
Yeah, an all-rounded one. So I'm trying to think of other ground Pokemon. In terms of legendaries, I fucking love Groudon.
Yes, that's...
Oh, yeah.
He's a fucking monster, and I like him a lot.
What are the other ground legendaries then? It's only him, isn't it?
Wasn't one of the Cloud Trio, the
yes,
Black and White
Landorus.
Landorus, yeah. Were there any others? I can't think. Liz. Given there's such a bulky type, I would imagine. I would have assumed there'd be more than there actually are. What types do he run?
He trans Fire Steel.
Oh, okay.
Because
that looks like it could be ground with how stocky it is, doesn't it?
Yeah. Plus the fact it lives in a volcano, you'd think. Maybe it might be, or a rock type.
I don't really use rock types that much unless they're rock ground. Also, I've been using a Graveler in the Emerald run I've been playing recently because, you can get a Geodude fairly early on, and if you want your rock coverage, then it's kind of between that and the Aaron line.
Yeah.
But getting use from the Aaron line takes a long time. Although, you know, you got to get your Biction Aggron.
Oh, of course.
Like, Aggron, I kind of think it's a shame you don't really get as much of an opportunity to get use from it in the main game. Because it doesn't evolve till like 55 or something, does it?
Oof, I have no idea. But
Like, it takes him quite a while from what I recall. But, like, you know, he's a big motherfucker, and
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a cool design.
fucking
Plus-
metal dinosaur.
plus its
Yeah.
Mega Evolution just makes it even more OP.
Yeah, how usable is it?
Fairly usable, especially when it Mega Evolves, because it loses the Rock type.
Oh, what does it become? Is it just pure
It's
steel?
just pure steel. And its ability filter reduces the damage it takes from super effective moves by a quarter.
Oh, no. Oh, so is that like 1 3/4, or is that just it's less affected by its usual weaknesses?
It's less effective. It's not like it's not neutral effective. It's just a bit less than super effective now.
Oh, fair one.
Plus, it gets a huge buff in defenses.
Well, it's a fucking metal dinosaur.
If I recall correctly, its defense is on par with Shuckle.
Oh, holy shit.
So yeah, it's got huge natural defense, and then it's got filter there.
I've just got to laugh at this stealth onyx that crept up on me that I didn't see.
And this is the only kind of this cave in the game where you're just stuck on a narrow route.
And thank God for that, because I
Yeah.
can't tell where the fuck I'm going.
I mean, it's a very simple cave.
That didn't
there's
stop
only-
me getting lost.
You're a twat though, but yeah, it is very basic, and it's like, what was the purpose of this cave? This kind never pops up ever again.
I think they're doing it to flex the camera a little bit, to show
Probably.
off that they've got this new 3D layout that they can use. And like, it kind of has to be a simple cave to accommodate it, which is probably why they didn't do it for the others. It's like, I'm thinking the other caves in the game, like, there's not really that many. Like, there's one that you go in to get a legendary, but other than that, like, even Victory Road, there's a lot of outdoor parts as well as indoor.
Yeah.
And I'll say, out of all the playthroughs we've done, like, the Victory Road part is going to be the longest out of all of them because there's so many different sections, so that will be a nice hour-long special.
It's like definitely one of the best things to come from the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee trailers is riding on Onyx.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
That does look cool.
You're just perched on its head,
Yeah.
while your Eevee or Pikachu is also perched on your head.
A Pokemon sandwich, lovely. I wonder if that'll carry over if it becomes the Steelix, though. Riding on Steelix would be fucking badass.
Adore that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's come home, just barraging through the town. And the fact that Steelix has those spikes coming out the side of it, just tearing through walls of houses with narrow alleyways. Someone's watching their TV, suddenly the spike of a Steelix comes tearing through. Grandma gets knocked over.
Like, you know how a lot of big dogs are completely unaware of the fact they're big dogs?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but Steelix.
You go out into the backyard. Yay!
Yeah, Steelix just comes ploughing through.
Oh, God.
Oh, fucking incredible.
What Pokemon can you ride then? Because like, can you ride a Metagross yet in the games?
No.
No.
It'd be sick if
that
you
would be
could.
cool.
though.
Like,
Sit on
Charizard has been shown, because of course you're going to be able to ride a Charizard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can fly about on it now.
Well, I mean, you can
Well,
just fly with basically any flying type,
But
can't
I'm
you?
curious how that ride system worked for Charizard, because the way it showed it in the game, it just seemed to be hovering above the roots. So
Maybe, like...
I want the saw mechanic from Aurus to return.
That'd be kind
I
of cool. I'm
adored
surprised they
that.
didn't do much for that in Gen 7, given
Yeah.
they had, like, the islands and that.
That would have been amazing, because I loved summoning Latios or Latias, whichever one, and then just seeing the entire region and being able to drop down to any route and any town.
Plus, like, having the legendary encounters up
Yeah.
there. That's kind of cool. And, like, I kind of like how they let you get so many legendaries, like, in more recent games. Like, they're using their backlog of legendaries. And-
Well, you say using, they just chuck every legendary in now.
Well, yeah, like, it would be nice if they had a little bit of a setup for some of them, but like I suppose in Ultra Sun and Moon they kind of contextualise it by, like, you know, informed in like contextualizing, like in the fact that like they're the ones from the other dimension and that, and like the fact that they use the original battle themes to kind of represent that as well. That's cool.
So I think the only legendaries that don't show up in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are Mewtwo and the legendary bird and the mascots.
Oh, what are they ones that are like not the version you're playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, well that's fair enough because like
Well, and the mascots of X and Y.
Yeah, well it makes sense that the ones that show up in X and Y are not there because like you know they kind of want to fill in the blanks, so to say. As long as we never have a fucking thing like back in Gen 3 where if you wanted them all you'd have like, you know, 8 different games you got to import shit from if you wanted to fill your Pokédex, because that is just a little bit silly, you know?
But it's like, it is odd though how all of this stuff ends up happening above Hoenn. It's like, oh, look at that, there's a tear in space-time up there.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's the Sky Entei out for a run.
Yeah, oh, look, there's a giant thunderstorm over there. Is there a dragon in it?
Oh, look who we have here.
The most disappointing team ever.
What do I even say about them? I'm not really going to get into like their motive or anything until we get to like the story sections, but like they're just like fabulous gangsters, really, aren't they?
And if anything, their motives don't even match their aesthetic. Every team has had a motive that matches the aesthetic. These guys do not. Why are they so full of themselves and wanting to look fabulous?
Well, like, again, this is jumping ahead a little bit, but I do get the feeling that the Grunts ideology doesn't necessarily match the leadership ideology. That's something that they sort of touch on in parts. And so, if you're using the fashionable outfits as like a recruiting tool, yeah, like, granted, we're in this imaginary world where people actually like dressing like that, rather than thinking, okay, well, you're a bit interesting. But yeah, their teams, they have the occasional fire type, but other than that, it's basically Team Rocket teams, isn't it? They have Zubats. That's their thing.
They're really nothing special.
Which is kind of a shame. Like, I think one of the strengths of Cypher as an evil team is that they do have a huge variety of different Pokemon, and that makes them more of a threat. Whereas now, like, as long as you can take down a Houndour, you can take down a Zubat, you're kind of set, really, aren't you? Like, maybe the occasional other Pokemon, like, I think some of them might have Grimers, or not Grimers, maybe, I can't remember, but, like, they have something else, but for the most part, it is very samey teams.
Every evil team uses poison types, unless you happen to be Team Magma or Aqua.
Well, they have Zubats.
Yeah, but every team has Zubats.
I just don't get why. What is appealing about Zubat?
And there's the fact that Golbat only evolves into Crobat if it's got high friendship, so they're never going to get far.
Well, Maxie and Archie do. They get Crobat.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that becomes part of their main team. And admittedly, Crobat, I like Crobat.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, given they never evolve it other than that, you know, it kind of feels pointless just to be running around with Zubats that go down like with one Confusion or Thunderbolt or whatever.
Yeah, it's like... But yeah, with every evil team, it is essentially just carry a ground type and a steel type and you're done.
Yeah.
You're set for life. Unless you're up against Aqua, in which case bring a grass type along for good measure.
Yeah, well, like, if you're playing Gen 3, you probably, if you got good taste, go and pick Sceptile.
Yeah.
Controversial opinion, maybe? I don't know.
Any of them are good taste, let's be honest. I think Gen 3 is the one time where there's pretty much perfect equilibrium with the starters, where it's like, you can't be mad at someone for picking one of them.
Well, I mean, like, if you pick Karate Penis Chicken over Sceptile, then I am going to take the piss a little bit.
Yeah, but then it becomes Blaziken and it's like that joke fades.
Well, then it just has massive crutch fur.
Who cares? It's Blaziken. And it can Mega Evolve now.
I still think one of the coolest things is that early design, one of Sugimori's early designs, that's like a mashup of what we now have as Blaziken and the Latias
Yeah.
Because that could have been a cool Pokemon, but like I can kind of see by the same time of that might have been a bit hard to fit in. Like maybe Fire Dragon that could have been or something.
It did look a bit iffy to me personally.
It looks like an early design of something. It looks like the sort of thing that would have been revised, but it's still cool in concept.
Yeah. But I'm kind of glad that it doesn't exist though, because we got two far better things out of it. So.
Well, Blaziken, like, he's cool. I do remember when, I think it was this game actually, that when it first came out, you were just given a Torchic off the bat.
Yeah, that was a mystery gift.
Yeah, that's a weird Pokemon for them to just give you, isn't it?
Yeah, because it was the only Hoenn starter to have a Mega Evolution at that point. And it's weird that got a Mega Evolution thought up before the other two.
Yeah, it is actually, come to think of it, like...
It's like it just came out of nowhere. It's like the 3 Kanto starters get it, but then suddenly there's Blaziken. It's like, what are you doing here? I mean, I'm not mad, but why?
Yeah, like, I guess it probably the most flexible, because like I think it gets the best Mega Evolution out of the 3. Like, Sceptile's Mega Evolution is okay, but like I feel it could have done a little bit more.
I really like Sceptiles.
Yeah, like I think I just like base Sceptile so much that an adjustment to it just doesn't really appeal to me as much. But you know, it is what it is.
But I understand. I mean, I do prefer regular Sceptile as well, but I do love Mega as well. Plus, it's a Dragon type.
Mega Swampert is fucking funny.
I love Mega Swampert. I don't find it funny. I think it does look really good.
Oh, it's the muscly one.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
It's on Hulk-like.
Yeah, it is Hulk Swampert.
And I love the fact that it's like its design is like it shoots water jets out of like the sort of like gills or whatever they are on its arms. So it's propelling its fists even faster.
But that's cool, but it's not having water jets on your back.
Yeah.
It's kind of that inherent comparison, isn't it? Although it's kind of weird that the Mega Blastoise, actually, his main feature is the one big gun, rather than just expanding and maybe having more. But...
Well, he does have wrist cannons.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he? That's probably actually more flexible in terms of combat, and like he can actually fucking aim.
Plus, I love what they do with Dragon Pulse for it.
How does that work?
Well, energy shoots out of all of the cannons, each with a dragon head on them, and then they converge into one giant dragon
That's
head.
good. That sounds cool. Oh, we got a double battle against these fabulous gangsters.
They even look confused.
Yeah,
like they've
look
done.
like they're fabulous. It's the outfits.
Yeah, what are we even being paid for? I don't know. Just throw out your dark type and poison type.
See, like, we laugh, but they're actually lost. Them sunglasses are actually completely solid colour.
They're in a fucking cave.
Why is everything red?
The fact is so close up to their eyes and they're in a cave, it's probably just very dark, black or brown that they're seeing.
I would love to see the Team Flare design, but with the Kanye glasses.
Oh.
That would look like the epitome of stupid, wouldn't it? I want to see that.
Imagine a region being taken down by that. Yeah.
That'd be amazing. I mean, like, is it really that much worse? Let's think about it. It's like, comparing that to, like, maybe Team Skull and how stupid they are, it'd be a similar sort of balance.
Oh, look, there's Esper.
Oh, yeah, that wonderful thing.
I like the fact that for ages people were like, oh god, this thing looks terrifying. Look into its eyes, it's soulless.
Yeah.
But then, the moment it shows up in the anime, they turn it into this adorable little thing. It's like, it doesn't harm anyone, it's got a little smile on its face, it just wants to play, and everyone's just like, aww.
Yeah, but you don't see it when it sneaks out at night, do you? But yeah, I suppose the idea of like the creepy but cute thing, that's sort of brought back with Mimikyu in 7, isn't it?
Yeah, I like Mimikyu.
It is pretty cool. It's a useful fairy type to have, like, especially like it's Is it Fairy Ghost?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a unique typing on it. There's no others like it.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, so like that's a fair bit of coverage. Like that's one of the things that for like the next few gens we're gonna have some unique fairy cross typing, aren't we? Because like it's new and they're not really mingled in yet. Are there any fairy dragons?
Mega Altaria.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
that's kind of odd that becomes fairy though.
Yeah. Doesn't really get much explanation behind it, but
Because that is very clearly a bird, isn't it? So you would have thought like dragon flying, which
even though Altaria is a dragon type.
I don't know. It just don't really add up to me. But like, I'm trying to think, what else could they do that would look more specific to a fairy dragon? Because like that concept in itself, that could lead to some cool ideas, couldn't it? But you know, I'd say that. But like, if there were any dragon type that would adapt to that, I'm surprised they didn't do it with Dragonite. Because that's like the very friendly dragon design, isn't it?
Plus, it's the OG dragon.
Yeah, we've got to get that picture of Dragonite.
It's like, I could see Dragonite being either a water dragon or a fairy dragon. I mean, granted, flying dragon's pretty fitting for it.
It is. Well, it's dragon flying, and you've got to be specific.
You know what I mean.
But like, if they were going to do any secondary typing, I suppose water would be more fitting, given like Dratini and Dragonair tend to live underwater, don't they? And around lakes and stuff like that, and you fish them up.
Also, you've just received the jaw fossil.
Time to get a bitey boy.
Yep, because there are 2 fossil Pokemon in this. They're both pretty good.
But one of them is
Yes.
a bitey dinosaur.
One of them is better than the other. And I'm not just talking aesthetically as well, it just generally is better.
Yeah, I don't really think I'm going to get any use out of my Tyrantrum, but like, you know, it's a little baby T-Rex, this base form, isn't it?
So I really like Tyrantrum, I'm very happy that it exists, but I kind of feel it could have looked a bit better.
It's fine, I like it.
So I'm not a huge fan of the tuft of feathers round its neck, the mane. So I understand why it's there.
Do you not buy into the theory that the dinosaurs had feathers?
I understand it. I accept it. I don't like it, but I accept it.
Does that not make the idea of like when you see the giant like skeletons of like reconstructed T-Rex bodies and that, does that not become more terrifying when you imagine that giant monster running around with feathers?
No.
I think it makes it more scary, to be honest.
Yeah. Like, imagine, because then not only do you like get swallowed by the fucking thing, but you have the embarrassment of dying to a monster with feathers. Like, that kind of doubles down on the threat, really.
Yeah, but have you seen what T-Rex supposedly looks like now? It's not very good.
Is it like a giant chicken or something?
It does look a bit stupid now.
God, can't they go back in time and redesign it? God
I
fucking
wish.
damn it.
I wish.
But like, as long as I get my, what is it, Rock Dragon or is it Dark Dragon?
It is rock because
Yeah.
it's a fossil. So
Well, yeah, but like, as long as I get my Rock Dragon bitey boy, I'm happy with the design. And yeah, well, I think we've gave this Rhyhorn enough work. I just need to park the fucking thing.
do a bloody U-turn.
Yeah, I basically had to. I love watching the Rhyhorn back up when you're on it, by the way. It just looks so goofy.
This is how you parallel park on a Rhyhorn.
Look, okay, I might have failed about 8 driving tests, but even they never got me prepared for a Rhyhorn. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get it restored here. And I like how you can see that fucking fossil head at the start there.
What
Like,
is it?
Yeah, there's a Dragonite.
Yeah.
Which seems to be a bit of a thing in Pokemon now, because even Black and White had a Dragonite skeleton.
yeah, who's out there hunting these
I
Dragonites?
don't know.
But like,
Why would you want to?
yeah, like, unless they're like prehistoric Dragonites that maybe looked a bit different and they're looking into them.
Yeah.
I'd love to see like a dry Dragonite. If you think like dry
God.
Bowser. Dry Charizard.
Oh,
That'd be fucking incredible.
Ooh.
Imagine that, but like kind of like dry Bowser.
the wings are aflame and that.
Oh, it's not even that. Like, if it's got like, it'd have to breathe fire from somewhere, wouldn't it? So where would the
It's got
fire?
fire inside its
Yeah,
rib cage.
like, there's Tyron. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's a cool design.
It is.
Again, I will end up with different dragon coverage. So
I think my
you know.
my actual main issue with Tyrantro's design is it's a bit bulky in my eyes. It's like it feels like it's a bit compact.
Well, the bulkiness is part of why I like it. Like, it's a big, intimidating fucker. I don't know. I just really like.
So when
how
I
he
look
is.
at it, I feel like it looks a bit squashed down in my eyes.
I'm still trying to see it, and I just don't really like it. To me, it's perfect dinosaur. Stop being racist against dinosaurs, you prick. That's Featherist.